So we didn't get to a local story. It happened Friday after our show. I had a text from one Danny Meringue, and it said something about Panda. And I wasn't on the internet last week. I thought the internet was a cesspool, and it was not a time to be on the internet. I'm still largely not on the internet in many ways. I don't find it rewarding in any metric. But I did ask, and he responded with the news that Tom Dundon, the new potential Blazer owner, had announced a new partner of his group.
Yes.
Peggy Chung, who is an OSU alum and the founder of Panda Express.
There you go.
And I know we briefly joked about the Panda Express Center being a thing. But, for any questions people had about the group and the money and, I told us to Danny because he was like, I don't know about this. And I'm like, it's going to happen. Shams Charania puts that out. It is happening. That's not a guy that wants to put out wrong information. And Dundon's putting his name to the stuff like that, to me, was an indication that everything was going to get sorted and be fine. Her announcement of being a partner, that's just about the ink drying and the I's being dotted and the T's being crossed. That was always part of the deal. And so she's a part of a pretty large group, but Dundon's going to have the board of governor representation of the organization with the 51%. She's worth $7.5 billion. So when all totaled, this group is almost $20 billion of money, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that's plenty.
I tend to believe that as well. But just something worth noting. It happened Friday after our show. We didn't talk about it yesterday. And so wanted to bring it up. Dirt was out food poisoning. I thought, who can't crap on this today? Dirt cannot poo-poo the Panda Express addition to the ownership group.
Maybe he should have eaten at Panda Express. He wouldn't have had, issues this morning.
The irony would be as if he did eat at Panda Express.
No, we're not going to mention that.
And we did end up joking with a poll question, what's the better name, the Moda Center or the Panda Express Center? I did love the recommendations of the Panda Garden. An homage to the Rose Garden is always welcome. It's the ultimate GOAT name for our arena. But the Panda Garden is a pretty close second. If you tell me you have to go to the Panda Garden for the game, I'd be pretty jacked about that. I'm generally pretty excited. We have voiced our thoughts on the ownership stuff. I know the organization doesn't share our views on all of that. And behind the scenes, she's more highly regarded, Jody and the Vulcans. But I'm excited to have a new start in that department and getting Tom Dundon here and having even more money with the group. The season is 36 days away.
Yes.
So it kind of gets my juices flowing a little bit. He's going to be at the back end of the season, officially become the owner. So he'll get a real gauge to watch all year, observe. And I'll be curious, man, if he comes in and that team has underperformed, their over-under's not very high. And if they're not in the play-in again, it's going to be very interesting to see what he does in his first year as the owner.
Yeah, at the point at which he has control and takes the reins and is there to make decisions, he's one based on his history that doesn't shy away from making decisions and making significant decisions very early.
No, he gets in there and he wants to change things to how he wants it right away. We found that out when we talked to people with the Carolina
Hurricanes. And I think it's good that he'll have, I don't know at what point he'll be allowed to, have access to Cronin and Hankins and discussions on a regular basis. I don't know.
Prior to the official start?
Just to learn about what's going on and how they do things. And
I can't imagine that's prohibited for him communicating with Joe Cronin.
I just don't know what the specific rules are, if there's certain lines you can't cross until things have been approved at certain levels. But yeah, and obviously he is certainly boning up on understanding the CBA and the salary cap rules. And
he's talking to people, getting them educated.
It's much more difficult to trade in the NBA than it is in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Agent relationships, vitally important versus the NHL. You can probably get away with being a little cold-shouldered to people. You don't want to do that in the NBA.
Yeah, there is a concentration of power amongst fewer agents with NBA guys and big NBA guys than there is in the NHL.
Now, I thought this was interesting because the headline, now it's not always the writers who choose the headline of a story, right? But Quick had one in The Athletic, an update on this on Friday, and it was basically framed of Blazers are going nowhere. The quote was not quite that. It was a little bit of we will Well, I should have brought the story up, but it was not quite worded that way. It was the "we are working to remain" type of deal, and so people are still worried about the whole Blazers moving from Portland deal. I'm not saying they're going to privately fund every element of a new arena if they get to that point, but adding more money to the situation certainly helps. So we'll see what's going to happen there between the city.
I think everybody is going to choose their words very carefully regarding that. It is the elephant in the room, and everybody knows it has to be dealt with, and that's...
Is it an elephant, or is it just the loud guy at a party that we all know is drunk and screaming, and we're like, all right, let's acknowledge and address this right now?
No, I think so. I mean, there's two things. Is one, the competitiveness of the team on the court, and
but the arena is the largest.
But the arena is the piece to them. Their lease, they redid a short-term lease, and I think 2030 is when that expires. So you need to have, everybody needs to have agreed on a plan within a year or two of him taking over to go forward. Otherwise, then it's a panic scene.
Well, we'll see. I know I saw this news on Friday, and I thought, does OSU get any money from her? She's an OSU alum. We're sitting here crying poor. That's two billionaires that we're just not getting athletic department donations from. The NVIDIA bro and Pan Express.
It's a lot of orange chicken being eaten in the world.
Some advanced technological orange chicken.
And the money should be going back to the orange.
Oh, yeah. Make the orange great.